tell y'all, I have no clue. No clue. Let me make sure this is on. No clue how I'm gonna review the show. We just gonna ride it out. We gonna see. I got a bunch of notes. I'm gonna read off the notes, and we gonna figure it out from there, I guess. But this was a lot, but not a lot at the same time. Like it was a lot going on, but not a lot going on at the same time. This is a mess. But you know what? I guess I got to give Zeus props for trying to switch up, do some new things. If they tweak it right, I guess I'm gonna give it. It's a trial and error. It's season 1, so the things that happen, I guess I'm not gonna hold it against them. At least they're trying, but eventually they should get the formula together and figure out how to structure this show. Right now, it's a bunch of like dead air space. A little bit. It's like try to control the cast a little bit, but we're gonna get into it. But thumbs up the video if y'all not if y'all are new. Thumbs up the video, period. Because we love interaction over here. That's what helps push my page out. It's free. I'm not asking y'all to pay anything. I'm just asking y'all to thumbs up the video. I'm asking y'all to drop a comment down below. Please do both of that. If you want to do it now, do it now. Say what's up. Let me know you here. And subscribe if you're new. If you're new here, subscribe. We're gonna be here talking about this for, I guess, 10 weeks now. But yeah, we're going to get into it. First episode, Joseline versus Natalie. All right, so we get on into it. As I just stated, we got Natalie as the team captain of Team Bad and Joseline as the captain of Team Wild. Joseline's team is her Cabaret girls from season 3, I want to say, or season 4. And Joseline's got a mix of some of the baddies. Natalie's team, we got Mariahlynn, Jela, Scotty, Tesehki, and Rollie. Joseline's team, we got Andraya, Spin, Egypt, Dani, and Precious. All right, and they're in Vegas. We know they're in Vegas. They got an MC by the name of Courtney B. She is the MC. She's kind of like introducing everything that's going on, giving backstory on what's going on. I like her input with the show because it's like her and Nick are like the main like hosts per se. Nick is the host of the games, but she's like the MC, like doing the MC type stuff that they would do on Wild 'N Out, that they would do on any type of show or any type of game show. So I like her affiliation, and she's adding her own commentary into it, so it keeps it entertaining. So they start off and said that the teams will be separate before they meet face to face, which I like. Keep the drama on the stage. If it happens, have it happen on the stage. Don't do it off the stage. But they showed them arriving, of course. It was funny because Courtney B was like, we know who the baddies are, but the girls getting off the bus with Joseline, she was like, who are these girls? I don't know who these girls are. And I'm like, it's funny because I didn't watch that season. I seen a couple clips, and I know the ones that I know by name is Egypt, and I want to say Spin is the other one that I know by name. But the rest of them, I didn't really know by name either, so I was laughing when she said that. But the MC then talks about how Natalie and Joseline got the hottest 2 shows on Zeus, which we all know that is true. There's only 2 shows on Zeus, so, I mean, let's keep it real. But essentially, they do have the 2 hottest shows on Zeus, the two longest running shows on Zeus. But they've been talking shit about each other for years. We all know that to be true. And they start showing flashbacks of the beef just brewing over the last year, per se. But we get the teams in their trailers. Well, actually, in Natalie's trailer, Natalie's got her team. They're talking about how Natalie's beef is with Joseline. She's saying that Joseline's girls, the Cabaret girls, don't even want to be on Joseline's show. They want to be on Baddies, which we know that to be true because they all show up at the auditions. We all know that. They want to be on Baddies. Baddies is essentially the biggest show. Joseline's show is kind of like a stepping stone for them to get on Baddies. But Baddies essentially is, I hate to say it, it is essentially the show that everybody wants to be on if you're trying to be on Zeus. So Natalie's not wrong there. But Joseline's with her group, trying to get them hype, rapping about Natalie, saying to Natalie, who's Natalie's father? And she's saying Jay Leno. We all know that long running joke about Natalie and Jay Leno being siblings, or at least kin because of that chin. But you get what that is. But they started running stats on the TV, which was funny. This was very funny. They got Natalie's 2 million Instagram followers to Joseline's 4 million. Then you got Natalie's 15 years in the public eye to Joseline's 12 years, which I'm glad they said in the public eye, because neither one of them have been on TV in consistency for 15 and 12 years. They've been in the public eye, and they've been known for those many years, but I'm glad they said it that way. But both of them have viral moments. We all know that. Public fights. We all know that. Natalie has not been arrested, but Joseline, they put a question mark because they don't know how many times she's been arrested, which is true. And then they did the black eyes. Natalie got one black eye, which we know from Baddies South when she spent half the reunion with the glasses on because Rollie blacked her eye. Joseline's got zero. So we finally get to the stage. They bring out that lizard. If you don't know who the lizard is, you ain't been watching me long enough, but the lizard is the CEO, Lemon Pepper. He gets out there thanking the crowd for coming, and he introduces Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is bringing the realness of reality TV game show quality to the show. I like what he adds already, even though he could have had a little bit more control over the girls, but essentially he did what a host is essentially supposed to do whenever they had beef. Let them do whatever they got to do, but at some point he tried to reel it back in. But Nick ends up bringing out Glorilla. As we know, they have guest performers each show. So Glorilla is the first one. She comes out and performs. Nick then brings out the teams. He pretty much lets us know that they will compete in 3 rounds to win points for their team. And obviously at the end, the team with the most points wins. So Nick welcomes in Natalie's team first. They come in, they chanting and shouting and, Baddies shot o'clock. They doing all that. The crowd was feeling it. For the most part, every last one of them do look good. I will say that. Even Rollie. The best they've looked, they look good. I was okay. That's good. But Natalie's sitting up there talking shit, saying Joseline got to introduce her bitches because we don't know who the fuck they are, which essentially, if you didn't watch that show, which I know a lot of people who watch Zeus say that season was the worst season. The best season was definitely season 2. So she wanted to, I was going to say she wanted to bring some of the girls to represent her. It would be the girls from season 2, but as we all know, a lot of them girls she don't fool with. But Nick then brings out Joseline's team, and they come out chanting "Lauderdale ho, Lauderdale ho." Y'all know that viral moment from their season. Tesehki up there talking shit. They go back and forth chanting their chants, trying to get the crowd hype. Then Joseline's girls end up jumping in because they saying "Baddie shot o'clock" with the baddies over there. I don't know if y'all heard it, but I heard it. Joseline's crew is saying "Baddie suck a cock." So I'm like, what is going on? But that's what they was doing. Nick then starts asking Joseline who she got with her, and they all just standing there like this. Just standing there like that, not saying a word. Nick was like, okay, just go to your couches. So they go to their couches. Nick then introduces Courtney B for the first time, which is the MC. And he introduces Big Ant, who is the referee, who was doing a terrible job, might I add. But the first game that we're playing is Break It Off or Take It Off. They either have to accept the challenge or they strip. So Natalie and Joseline, they start going back and forth. Too much going on. I couldn't even make it out. So you just get the gist. They going back and forth talking shit. So Joseline gets up, starts making fun of Natalie's little viral OnlyFans patting her cat. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And this is a big part of this episode. But they start going back and forth about it to the point where Big Ant comes up to try and break everything, calms it down, gets the whistle, starts blowing it. So they finally get up to do the challenge. Rollie, Natalie, and Scotty get up against Joseline, Egypt, and somebody who I can't remember who it was. The first challenge is they got to do a full split or take something off. One of Joseline's girls, the girl that I don't know, she dropped down into the split. Scotty then dropped down into the split. I was watching this with my sister, as I always do, and we was laughing because she said Rollie ain't going to do it. And guess what? Rollie ended up jumping down there into the split. Shocker. She got down there too. But Rollie got into the split. Egypt got into the split. What else happened? So yeah, they all did that. They all got points. Joseline's team got 3 points. Natalie's team got 3 points. Joseline, Jela ends up running out there and gets on the pole. And she impressed Joseline. Joseline got to the point where she wanted to snatch her and take her to her team. And it was funny because Natalie was like, no, not happening. She pulls Jela back over there. So they move to the next challenge. They play this, what is it called? Play the rest of the game with your wig off. That's what it was. You got to play the rest of the game with your wig off. So take your wig off. Jayla obviously is the one that's up there like, what's up? I can play the rest of this game because I ain't got no wig because I got a short buzz cut. So she up there and nobody else want to take their wig off. Rollie took her wig off, obviously, because we all know she's always been on TV without a wig on, and that's nothing to her. Natalie could have took hers off too, but she spent enough time getting it installed, so she didn't want to do that. But Nick is trying to enforce the rules, saying that if you cannot do it, you have to take something off because they're not doing the challenges, which is completely deferring from the fact that they have to then, if you're not going to do the challenge, you got to strip, which is the point of the game. It's called Take It Off or Strip or do it or break it off or strip. So he's trying to enforce that. Egypt then pulls down her pants and starts stripping and twerking. Real ass. That's what I can tell. Scotty does the same. Real ass. Tesehki does the same. BBL ass. Love you, Tesehki, but let's be for real. Rollie, of course, got to jump in there and thinking somebody want to see that. She does it too. Glorilla looked like me. Glorilla looked appalled because they fanned the camera to her. And then one of them chicks on Joseline's team, I can't remember what her name was. I think it's Precious, or it's the darker skin one. With the bad botched BBL. Looks horrible. Horrible. But we move to the next challenge. They do 20 push-ups. You got Jela versus Spin. Neither one of them were really doing push-ups the correct way. You got to get down, bring your body down to where your hands are, essentially. Neither one of them was doing it. Jela was doing it close enough for me. She was doing it more close to proper form. Spin, I don't know what the fuck she was doing. But they both got points for that, I think. The audience ended up voting on who they thought won the first challenge, and they ended up giving it a tie. If you ask me, it sounded like Wild, which is Joseline's team, got more applause, if you ask me. But they gave it a tie, 1-1. The next game is called Keep It a Stack. Each team has to come up with truths. They got to keep it real, essentially. They're going to ask you a question. You got to keep it real. And if you don't, you got to do a dare. And they're required to do the dare to cover the truth. So they got 30 seconds to answer the question or perform the dare. So the audience will then decide if they're lying. And if they are, like I said, they got to do the dare. So they get to that point, and the whole gist is each team is trying to get a point. You get a point for doing that. And you got to have the most points at the end of the game. That's essentially what it is. So Joseline and Natalie, first up, obviously. Joseline then asks Natalie if she owns her show. Natalie says yes. Joseline then says, then why do you do OnlyFans for $1.50 committing murder on your clits? She didn't say clits, she said the other word. I'm not trying to say it. But Natalie said that's a lie. We all know that's not a lie because we've all seen that viral clip of what Joseline has been doing the whole time, which we all know is true. Natalie's lying. Sound like she got to go do it there now. So she's sitting there denying it, and Joseline says, who be on the Zeus Network? She asking everybody who be on the Zeus Network. And I'm sitting here thinking both of y'all, because it's literally the two of y'all. But Joseline said that Natalie loves to flex, but be playing with her cat for money. That is also true. But then again, Natalie doing that, I can't knock it because Natalie's going to try and get as much money as she can. And if she knows she can get money off of that, do it. Difference is Natalie's not going to own up to it, even though we've all seen it and she knows we've all seen it. But she's repeatedly saying that she gets money. Joseline lays on the floor imitating her. She had me weak when she was on the floor doing it. She had a leg spread wide open and I was like, Joseline is a fool. But Nick then asked Natalie if she even answered the question. And Natalie says that she's never let anybody eat her whole on OnlyFans, which we know that is a lie as well because we've seen Scotty doing it. Natalie just lies all the time. But Joseline's team got the point because Natalie was lying. Joseline says that Jay Leno is Natalie's real father to the crowd this time. Natalie then has to do the dare, but Natalie then randomly got a point, which I'm like, how'd she get a point for that? Because she ended up saying that she didn't lie, but then it's like she did lie. So I'm like, how's she getting a point for that? But she didn't do it there. That's the thing too. But Nick then asked Natalie if she has an OnlyFans or if she had an OnlyFans and was in the shower making her, because I forgot to mention it, but Joseline was sitting there saying that she likes to beatbox with her, you know what? She started making like a little beatbox. And the crowd was kind of like rocking with it, trying to make the beat, make the beat bop, really. But Nick asked her if she has an OnlyFans and is she in the shower making her, you know what, beatbox. And Natalie says that she makes $10 million on OnlyFans, deflecting. She didn't answer his question either. She's just deflecting, talking about how she makes $10 million on OnlyFans. Whatever. We get to Joseline. Joseline's turn to be asked the question. And the baddies are sitting there taunting her about her needing to go snort a line, and you know what? The coke. So Joseline then goes running around asking for the white girl, aka the white line. And she's asking the crowd for it, like, who got it? You got the coke, you got the coke, you got the coke. Because, you know, Joseline, we all know she snorts it. We all know she loves it. She knows that we know that we don't love it. She knows that we know that she loves it. And she goes around owning it. That's the difference between her and Natalie. She owns it. But Joseline gets 4 stacks to Natalie's 1. Joseline says the difference between her and the Baddies is that she keeps it real, which is not lying. She's not lying. She do. But Natalie then asked if Joseline eats. This I don't know if this is true or not. Charge it to my mind. I rewound it a couple times to see if I could understand it, but they bleeped it. I'm like, why are y'all bleeping out when they've been cussing the whole time? Why are y'all bleeping out certain words? But they bleeped out when Natalie said, which I think she said, if Joseline eats ass from Molly the maid, which I'm assuming is Mimi, which we all know that answer because it was answered on Love and Hip Hop. But as she was doing it, Natalie was like buffing up in her face, like just bucking up in her face, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know how Natalie do, yeah, yeah, yeah. And as she did that, Joseline muffed the fuck out of her. She muffed her so hard she fell back at least about 4 feet. And the minute she did, everybody from the Baddies couch jumped up. And then the Joseline's crew jumped up. First thing I saw when they all started charging was Jela. She stuck somebody good with a right hook. I couldn't tell who it was, but she hit them good and security pounced. Everybody's fighting at this point. Everybody but Scotty. Scotty didn't look like she was fighting to me. She looked like she was just running around trying to look like she fighting. And she was laughing at one point. If you run it back, you can see her laughing in the back. But that's what happened. Jayla ran up, popped somebody quick. Tesehki got a good grip on somebody's wig. Mariah got her wig snatched. One of them girls ended up snatching Natalie's wig. And security got Natalie they got her in a clean, smooth headlock, which explains why Natalie and the girls was mad as fuck when this dropped. If y'all don't remember when it happened, all them got online pissed. All the Baddies was pissed. And I see why, because Natalie was locked up. They had her locked up. Natalie couldn't do nothing. She was pissed. Rollie then goes running to the other side where Spin is on the couch, and Rollie goes and knocks her ass off the couch. When she knocked her off the couch, I died. And then they ended up, security jumps on Rollie and kind of like mushes, because you see her ass, like she's literally got her knees down on the ground, face in the couch. Her face is like sideways. You can see they got her, and then it's like they got her arms tied back, like they literally about to arrest her. I'm like, that's why they mad, because they literally was on the Baddies. They was on them bad. But Natalie starts talking shit to Joseline. Joseline is untouched. Wig still intact. She don't look like she been touched at all. She's sitting over there jumping around, dancing and stuff, chanting Lauderdale Ho to the crowd. They chanting it back. Tesehki and Mariahlynn get free from security. And Tesehki run up and popped the shit out of Spin. Like, gave her a clean right hook and knocked her back. Tesehki and Jayla, those are the two that you got to have on your team if you're really trying to throw down, because both of them going to connect. But they then remove Joseline's team from the stage. Natalie's on the stage screaming, calling Joseline a pussy-ass bitch. Joseline's backstage with her girl. Spin is sitting there swearing that she uppercut somebody and needs somebody. I'm like, delusional. I didn't see none of that. I saw you getting popped a couple times. But Rollie is backstage, and she's trying to charge for that door. She's trying to get out that door and go get somebody, which I'm assuming was, who was it? I think it was Dani, because we're going to get to her later on. But they shut the door on her. She got like this spray can, and Rollie is banging on the window, trying to break the door. Like, they trying to stop her. I ain't mad at Rollie at this point. I'd have been pissed too. Like, if I'm trying to get somebody, move the fuck out of my way. Move out of my way. But Dani is back there talking shit, saying that's why she fucked Rollie's fat ass up. And I'm like, you didn't. I didn't see you fuck her up. I saw you fly off that couch. But Natalie is on stage trying to act hard, pumping up Tesehki, talking about, we eat these hoes. We eat these hoes. I'm laughing because Tesehki ain't really paying her no mind either. But Rollie, backstage still, she pulls the smartest move. She grabbed the damn fire extinguisher. The minute she did, security like moved out of the way for a quick bit. I was like, see, if they would have came back at me, I'd have been ready to spray them with it. But they eventually got it out of her hands. She goes outside. As she's going outside, she's threatening to bust windows out. Jayla and Scotty come backstage. Jayla said the minute she saw Natalie go back, she said she flew off that couch and hit the first bitch she saw, which we all saw that to be true. Scotty's claiming that she did something. I ain't see you doing nothing. Joseline then saying the reason that she muffed Natalie was because of the energy that she had, which I don't blame you. If you charging at me the way she was and like getting up in my face like that, I'm gonna hit you too. But Natalie is calling for her car, saying that they got 5 seconds to put her car up. I was counting. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The car was not there and she ain't do shit. Natalie swears she got control over somebody. But back inside, the crowd is passing around wigs, laughing and stuff with Nick and Courtney B. They sitting there laughing, saying that we didn't even get to finish the show, but we got the fights. We saw ass, titties, and nipples. And Nick was like, "It's gonna be the last." They're gonna call this episode "The Last Weave Standing." And they wrap it up. They bring out that shrimp lizard again, and Glorilla finishes up the show and performs and wraps it up. So that's the first episode. Again, I don't know how I'm going to structure this when I review this. I'm going to try and stick it through every single episode, try and figure it out. If it's essentially just going to be my commentary in regards to the fights, if y'all like it, we're going to talk about it. I'm trying to figure out if I should just do it as videos or do it as lives after the show. But that was my first episode. If you liked it, and even if you didn't like it, thumbs up the video. Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all thought. It was quite entertaining. I will say that. The structure was horrible, but it was funny. Like, there was a lot of shit going on that was just entertaining to me. But let me know what y'all think. Drop them down below. Subscribe. We are almost at 2.5K. I've gotten 500 subscribers in like a month and a half, 2 months. And it took me a whole year to get to 2,000. We halfway to another 1,000. Let's get to 3,000. And then let's try and stretch it to like 5. And then hopefully by the end of the year, we can get 10K. But yeah, I think that's all I got to say. Thumbs up the video. Drop the comments down below. Share, subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Peace.